Thanks for tuning in to Nindie Nation, your weekly dose of all things independently developed for the Nintendo Switch. I'm Jeff, and this Thanksgiving, I'm thankful for Nintendo, Indies, and my illustrious co-host, Josh.
Thank you, Jeff. How are you today?
I am fantastic. I'm still stuffed like a turkey after Thanksgiving. How was your Thanksgiving break?
I had 4 huge meals in the span of 2 days, and yeah, I'm pretty much toast as far as my stomach.
I think I am officially finished with leftovers now. I think I've had enough cold turkey sandwiches.
Yeah, enough to last a lifetime and plus more. So, but it was good. Pumpkin pie. Oh man, I took a whole pumpkin pie myself. Yeah, I hear you. I think I've got one slice left. I'm going to finish up maybe tonight while I'm editing.
Oh, man. Anyways, This is not Thanksgiving Nation. Well, I guess kind of it is. This is Nindie Nation, and we are here to talk to you about the games that we've been playing on our lovely Switches, the games we think you should be playing, and in the second half, which is going to be like the majority of the podcast this week, we're going to talk about all the games coming up for the next week on the Switch, as well as the games on sale that you cannot afford to miss. And we are chock full of both this week. So let's jump right into what we've been playing. Josh, I am excited to hear your thoughts on The Messenger.
Yes, I have a good list this week. Because we've been off for 2 weeks, I've had some time to drop here. And so, yes, the Thanksgiving sale, which is expiring, unfortunately, when you probably hear this, but I picked up The Messenger, and let me tell you, Jeff, I'm not having the same reservations as you at the start.
Okay.
I am really enjoying myself. I haven't even gotten to the 16-bit part yet, but I'm liking what I'm playing so far. So if you're saying it's like a mind-blowing experience, once I hit that part, I'm set. I can't imagine how good it is.
Have you made it to the big place that they tell you that you got to go to yet?
No.
Because that's a long... Okay. So you're still working your way through the levels and such.
But I tell you what, I'm loving the 8-bit aesthetic and just the feel of it. Like it feels like a easier version of Ninja Gaiden, pretty much.
Yeah, how are you playing it on your TV or handheld?
Handheld.
Are you using the D-pad buttons or are you using the analog stick?
D-pad. Yep.
Yeah.
Mainly.
Yeah.
It's not ideal, but it works. You know?
I found that when I play it on the TV, I find this a lot with indies. I find that when I play them on the TV, I will actually use the analog stick. But a lot of times when I play handheld, I'll use the 4 D-pad buttons. Like I did the same thing with Celeste. As soon as I put that game on the TV, I started using the analog stick.
I need to play more on the TV, though, because that 8-bit Do controller, I haven't used it enough. Yes. I could play in tabletop also.
Hey, speaking of which, quick interjection that a lot of the 8-bit Do, in fact, all of their peripherals are on sale on Amazon. You can get the SN30 Pro, that Super Nintendo looking controller, for like $25 right now or $30. A lot of their controllers, even the ones that are just looking like a Nintendo controller without the analog sticks and stuff, are as cheap as $18. I saw them all today. So if you have yet to pick up one of 8-bit Do's classic style controllers, go get one. They are all incredible, and almost all of them work with Switch, even your PS3 or 4 or Xbox One, as well as iOS and Android. And I actually picked up a little clip that hooks onto the controller itself to hold my phone.
Nice.
So you can use it as a controller for phone games. I don't know if
You're going to have to tell me how mine hooks up to my PS4, because I can't figure that out. Unless it can't. Because you need the touchpad, I think, and it's just not recognizing it. So maybe I'm doing something wrong, or you need a program.
I'll send you a link, because they had an outdated instruction manual when I got mine in the box. And have you ever done the firmware update for yours?
I doubt it.
Because there's a firmware update that you have to download off their site, and have you ever noticed yours vibrates like violently?
Sometimes.
Because anyways, I digress, but there is an update that you can get from their website that refines a lot of aspects of the controller, including latency, how hard it vibrates,
Okay.
and some stuff like that. And I think that actually is what enables the PS4 support as well. So I'll send you the link. But if you Google it, just like the 8-Bit Do site, they've got a really great website that makes it really easy to find and run the update. Download a little file, plug it into your computer, and it does it.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. But yeah, The Messenger has been a great game. It'll be in our top 10 list for sure at the end. So look for that episode coming up. We're near the end of the year. So next, I've been playing I Am the Hero. And this is a pretty old school beat 'em up, but it's 2D. And I really like the art aesthetic. It has a retro art style, but it's very modern looking, like fluid animations. It looks pretty cool. It looks like sort of like Octopath. It's sort of visual striking like Octopath Traveler in a way.
I apologize. I was just Googling it to see who the developer was. And I was typing really fast and I typed in I am the hero, but my finger slipped and I typed in I am the hurt and I got taken to the wrong website.
I am the hurt. No, this is not
Anyways.
a sexually transmitted disease. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm about finished with it, and it's really cool because after you complete each level, you can unlock a character or like a new move set. It's very combo heavy driven. So you can juggle people in the air. It has like a fighting game, like control scheme to some moves, which is pretty cool. Lots of different moves, and like the bad guys that you face, that's the characters that you unlock throughout. So you can use them to fight alongside you, which is cool. And it's 2-player, and I've been enjoying that. Blast from the past.
Yeah, it looks really
say.
cool. Looks like almost like a cartoony version of like Matrix or Dragon Ball style fighting.
Yeah, exactly. Next, I've been playing Escape Dudeland from Cubic Games. I've had this one for a while, and it's an endless runner, which doesn't sound that appealing, but it's the art style. It's like paper cutouts, and it's very unique, and it sort of reminds me of like Nidhogg in a sense. It doesn't play like that, but there's always this thing that's chasing. It's like that slug that eats you at the end of it. That's like chasing you. And you try to stay away from it, and you actually use farts to fart in the creature's face to bring it back. Like as you go through the level, you might find matches that I guess make your farts more effective. Then you can use it.
Looks gross.
Then you can use it to jump higher and propel yourself forward, and it is off the walls bonkers. But it was fun? A lot of fun. It is so hard. Like there's only 2 difficulties, hard and harder. So you gotta like hard games to really enjoy it. But it's ridiculously hard, but it's a lot of fun. So
cool.
Yeah, it's worth checking out. And then this is a game that came out a while back on other consoles, but it just came out for the Switch. It's called Party Hard. And this has another retro-like art style. It's a single screen-like experience where you're fed up with your neighbors throwing parties, so you go to different venues and areas to murder everyone on site, which sounds really gross and not something you should do, but it's surprisingly fun. It's very hard. It's another hard game.
How does it compare to Hotline Miami?
It doesn't compare to the Hotline.
No, you don't think they're similar? That's what it looks like to me.
It does, but Hotline Miami 2 is on a tier of its own, and this is sort of because it's fast-paced twin-stick shooter. Hotline Miami. This is more deliberate. Just kill people as they walk into rooms. You can play. There's a bunch of traps you can set. Like you can have it so this golf cart goes haywire and runs over a bunch of people, or you can. When my son listens to this episode, he's gonna be like, "Man, Dad, what kind of games are you playing?"
Well, you're not playing any dark, gripping noir adventure games this week, so you got to fill it with something.
That's right. It's fun though. It's sort of broken in some ways, though. It seems like sometimes things don't happen the way you think they will, and then you get caught and cheap deaths and stuff like that. But I'm enjoying it. good break from things.
Cool.
And then finally, I've been playing this game called Coffee Crisis. And this is another beat 'em up in the vein of Streets of Rage. Only you're two baristas who are trying to propel aliens that are trying to take all the coffee off the world. So there's
Heavens no.
I know we can't have that. So
Need
you
our coffee.
take your coffee bags, yeah, and you just whack people over the head with them. And it's basically it's just a beat 'em up, but it's a lot of fun.
Does it do anything special or unique, or is it just pretty standard?
It's pretty
traditional?
standard, but you get more power ups than like any regular beat 'em up. Like there's one that makes you invincible and one that makes you extra powerful, and there's cool powers that you can use too, as far as like one hit kills and even that. I don't know if you've heard the Metal Jesus rocks. I think you talked about them a couple episodes
we've talked about
ago.
him before.
Yeah, he also makes an appearance in the game, which was really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, it's really neat. I think it pays homage to like indie developers and
I love it when
entertainers like
games do that.
Yeah, it's cool in that sense. So yeah, if you're into another beat 'em up, then I would recommend it. So
Very cool. Did you say who the developer was for that?
I want to think
who it is.
Cubic Games again.
Mega Cat Studios.
Oh, Mega Cat. Okay.
They also made Fork Parker's Crunch Out, Profits. Maybe that's the same name. Log Jammers. I remember hearing about Log Jammers.
Yeah, I remember that one.
So they've got a few different games. Creepy Brawlers. That rings a bell. Anyways, cool. Well, man,
Yeah.
I can't wait until you get to the 16-bit part of the Messenger. That's going to be awesome to hear.
Nah, that'll be enlightening.
Yeah. I can't wait to talk to you about that story part. Maybe we should do an episode someday where we talk through like spoiler cast stuff of some of our favorite Nindies. Like talk about the ending of Celeste and when we finish the Messenger and all that kind of stuff.
That'd be cool. Just make like one episode based off of that. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. Just call it the Nindie Nation Spoiler Fest. And no matter how many times we say it's a spoiler, somebody on the internet will still get mad about it.
Yep. You weren't supposed to say that.
Speaking of games that I'm sure have awesome endings, I have been knee deep in Hollow Knight. And when we last recorded, I had put a couple of hours into it, beat a few bosses. And at this point, I've put over 15 hours into it. And I want to say I've got like maybe a third to maybe getting close to half of the map opened up. And I mean, this is
huge.
It's absolutely one of my games of the year. And this is like the 5th time that's happened to me this year. I think all 5 of my top 5s are going to be Nindies. Games,
Wow.
Indie games that I've played on the Switch. I think Spider-Man is my closest runner-up, and I didn't play a couple of the big games like God of War, so I can't count that. But Hollow Knight is just the whole package. I am at that point in the game where I recognize the music, just like in Metroid, when I get down to Brinstar Depths and I know what the music's gonna play, and I get the chills from the creepy areas, and like Phendrana drifts in Metroid Prime, and some of the best Metroidvania style games. But this is truly open world, and the way that they build the currency system, it's always engaging to play, and there's always something at risk. Like you cannot take any enemy lightly. Sure, you can eventually take out a bunch of enemies with one hits, but there's just always this slight sense of danger in the game, even in areas you've been to a million times. And I assume that's kind of why you say it's like Dark Souls in that way. Is that kind of where you get that notion from?
Right. Yeah. But like you said, it's just the way it plays. Like you feel empowered, but also very vulnerable. And that's what Dark Souls does very well. It's like you said, it's just a beautiful environment. Like I've never seen a game that looks like this or feel like this before.
And I didn't realize that the Switch version has a ton of DLC baked into it. And the way they built the DLC, it's like a part of the game. In fact, I did a big chunk of the game that I later realized, oh, that was DLC. And I did it earlier than it was intended to be. And I have this power up that I didn't know I was going to get. And man, power-ups like a Metroid game or even like Castlevania, you get probably 20, 30 different power-ups. This game, you get like 70. There's just so much in it. And
yeah,
this is right now, besides the other game that I'm going to talk about, this is what I'm focused on beating, so I can talk at length for Game of the Year this year, because this is going to be one of the top contenders for sure.
Easily.
So if you check out our YouTube channel, I put up a Let's Play for Vertical Drop Heroes.
Great video.
Which I picked up, thank you, at on sale. I think it was $7.49. And I started my Let's Play with the notion that I'm going to show everybody this janky, broken game that, barely fires on any cylinder that it intends to. And I have to say that all definitely still holds true. It is, at its essence, it's a roguelike platformer. Instead of going left to right through a cavern, you're going through procedurally generated dungeons that just kind of always drop down. There's 10 levels, and at every level, you're trying to get to the bottom to face a little boss. But everything is randomly generated, and it is the epitome of what you fear when you think, oh, the game is randomly generated. Like, stuff breaks all the time. There are enemies that just randomly, spontaneously combust, and things that get broken on fire. Like, you get to level 9 and you've been playing for 45 minutes and something just spawns out of nowhere and kills you, and because your controller stops working and the game's just broken. And I've put like almost 20 hours into it. I can't stop.
Game of the Year right there. It looks so cheap, but it looks so addictive as well.
It is. So the loop is just so good. I'll kind of leave it there. I encourage you to go check out the Let's Play I did of it. It was actually a really good run, and then I had another one that didn't last as well. But there's like a good 20-25 minute run of the game.
Yeah.
You get to see lots of levels, bosses, stuff like that. There's absolutely nothing here to spoil. I mean, the story is presented to you as a single paragraph on a screen before you start, and that's it. So, but I will say I do recommend it. I will say go watch the Let's Play and see if that looks interesting to you. If you're looking for this bite-sized game that is incredibly addictive, I think it's worth the $7 to $10, depending on if you get it on sale.
Just max chaos everywhere once you unlock all your characters and stuff. But
it is. There's just explosions everywhere. It's fun. The last game that I've been playing this week, I got Enter the Gungeon, which was also on sale for like $6.50, I think. And I'm not really feeling it. And I had a couple of questions, because you played it and you really liked it, didn't you?
I actually, as far as roguelike goes, this was probably, I like the game, but I felt like I wasn't really getting anywhere. I didn't feel like it didn't have that addictive quality that I look for in a game like that. Meaning that it just, everyone run felt the same, and I felt like I wasn't getting more powerful, and it's just, I don't know. I echo your sentiment there. I like playing it, but I just can't keep going back to it, The soundtrack
is awesome, and I really like the art style, and I love the humor of like everything's a gun and you're fighting walking, talking bullets, and hulked out pigeons, and but yeah, I feel the exact same way. Like maybe I'm used to other types of roguelikes, but I felt like I put 3 hours into it, and I was just like if I booted it up the first time. So did you ever get any permanent upgrades anywhere on anything?
No, I never got to that point. Really, I saw that other things came up that I would just rather play. I'm sure if you put more time into it, you get rewarding things with it. But
I might look it up online. I wanted to ask you about it and see if you had a different experience. But
there's something there.
Yeah, there is. I wonder if it's just one of those like, hey, when you put a few hours into it, it clicks or something.
Yeah, but for us, we play so many games that you need that push, and like something like Dead Cells or Hollow Knight, it always feeds you stuff, and you always are earning something. Like this, it just feels like I don't know, you're starting back at one.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Well, at least I feel vindicated in my opinion. Then
there you go.
If nothing else. All right, we have a ton of new releases coming up, and then even more sales. So with that, let's jump right into what is coming out on the eShop. This will probably post on the 28th, but there's a couple of games that came out in the days before. Josh, why don't you start us off with the top of the list?
Sure. On the 26th, we have Mordheim Warband Skirmish from Legendary Games, and it'll be $25. And pretty much it looks like a poor man's Diablo-like game. So let's say you couldn't afford Diablo 3 that just came out for Nintendo Switch. It looks like it'll share that same gameplay loop. There's a whole universe that's built around this, I know. So if you're into that, you can look up more source material. I think I think on other systems there's games that like first person, and yeah. So if it's your thing, might be worth it.
And next on the 27th, we've got 99 Vidas by Cubite Interactive, which is it already came out, so it is $9.99. And this is a fantastic 2D brawler. If you are a PlayStation Plus subscriber, you probably have this for free, so check that out before you buy it. But if you are looking for a good, it might support 4 players. I can't remember, but it's at least 2. If you are looking for a good, can be beaten in an hour, but has replay value with New Game Plus type of stuff, Streets of Rage, 2D brawler like the Ninja Turtles arcade games and X-Men and Simpsons and those from days of yore, 99 Vidas is an awesome game, and it's actually based off of a Brazilian podcast group. Like this would be like if Kinda Funny made a 2D brawler.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, right. And so it's got great. I mean, it's hilarious. It's got cool voice acting, funny story. I really, really recommend that game.
I love that we're getting all these beat 'em ups for the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
It's great just because my kids never really grown up with them, and having this retro style come back, it's really awesome. But anyway, this Warmind Complete Edition from 11-Bit Studios is $39.99, and this is I haven't played enough to really get a grasp of it, but it's a very dark post-apocalyptic strategy title where you have to know the minute details of your clan. Like you can welcome people in, or if you don't have enough money or resources, you can cast people out. And yeah, it seems like it's very heavy-handed story driven wise. So it seems like it's expensive, but I think there's a lot of content with the complete edition that make it worth it. Deep strategy elements. So if that's your thing, you can check it out.
Now, this is actually not, I want to make one correction. This is actually not a post-apocalyptic game. It's actually inspired by the Siege of Sarajevo, which took place from 1992 to 1996 in the Bosnian War. It's actually built around an actual conflict. And the notion is this is how the people who were not in the military, who were just regular citizens when a war started escalating around their normal day-to-day lives, this is how those people survived. And so it's supposed to put you in the mind of what happens if a war broke out in your home country. And that's where it gets the incredibly dark, like, hey, this is something that really happened, really experienced this. I haven't played it, but the only people I know that have played it are like, whew, you talk about a tough, emotionally draining game. That's what it's based on.
That sounds immediately more compelling than taking another post-apocalyptic game. So I'm glad you pointed that out.
Yeah. And then next we have Spent Tires Mud Runner American Wilds by Focus Home Interactive. These are the people who made Farming Simulator. It's like that, but it's off-road and trucking and stuff like that. And it's $40. Hey, if that's your jam, get her done.
On 11/28, we have R-Type Dimensions EX from Tozai Games. $11.99 pre-purchase, and it's going to be $14.99 after. this looks like a shmup through and through.
As far as I know, it's R-Type 1 and 2. And you can
Okay.
play the original versions or do the thing where like you click a button and it goes into like this 3D perspective that's, updated visuals. But yeah, I would love to know. I mean, I wonder if we'll get any codes for this because I would love to play it and find out, like, is there
Yeah.
more to it than that? Is it more like Pac-Man EX or something like that? Because I would be
Sure.
interested in that. But yeah. And then also on the 28th, Horizon Chase Turbo, and I am super stoked for this. Made by Aquirus, I think.
Mhm.
Aquirus for $19.99. Josh, you mentioned the Metal Jesus Rocks YouTuber. He put up a video today that I watched of him and the whole MJR crew, that whole group of YouTubers that he's always hanging out with. Playing this game in like a little tournament. It's like a 15-minute video, and it looks awesome. It is a arcade racer in like the 90s throwback aesthetic to games like Daytona USA or Outrun or Rad Racer, or those old school behind the car camera, driving super duper fast, getting gas and taking hairpin turns and stuff. This game looks awesome. I'm really excited for it.
That sounds really cool. On 11/29, we have Abzu from 505 Games, $19.99. Pre-purchase is $17.99. And I love this game when I played it on the PS4.
Really?
It is like, well, it has that journey like vibe to it. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, actually. The adventure elements, the swimming felt very fluid and exploration. Like, it's very educational with the fish. Like, you can actually close in on fish, and I have my kids watching it as sort of like a science little class thing, just going around learning about the fish.
Does it get scary or violent or anything like that?
Well, if you are creeped out about going deep down into the water, then yes, you will get freaked out, because there's parts where it's like 2D, and you're like it's just like this huge area that's just, it looks like something could just fly out and like eat you. It's very scary. That's not going to happen because that's not what type of game it is.
Right.
But it's beautiful too. Like, there's one part where you're in a wide open area and there's these fish just swimming in a circle and you can go through them. And I was blown away by it, actually. It was one of my games of the year it released.
Really?
So,
and I think I have this. I think I have this for free on both the PS4 and the Xbox One. I think it's been a part of their premium tier monthly games. I might try it then.
I'll
play one of my free copies.
Sure. Yeah, if you have it, play it.
Next we have on the 29th, Screen Cheat Unplugged by Samurai Punk. It's $9.74 if you pre-purchase, or $12.99 the day of. It's a think of like GoldenEye or like the classic N64 first-person shooters, competitive multiplayer game where the whole notion is everybody is invisible, so you have to look at the other player's screens. If you grew up in the 90s and played a bunch of those multiplayer N64 games, everybody would get mad about, hey, you're looking at my screen, and the whole point of the game is that's how you proceed. That's how you win. I'm going to take the next one.
Yeah, I was thinking about you for this one. So
the next one is Cattails on the 29th by Falcon Development for $15. It is like Golf Story, but cats. It's like this, simulation of being a cat and living in a cat world and doing cat things, and it looks absolutely adorable. And I wanna get my paws on it.
Definitely. Next we have Akihabara Feel the Rhythm Remixed from JMJ Interactive. $7.99, $6.79 pre-purchase, and the description says it all. Well, this isn't their official description, but it looks like a poor man's Luminous. And I actually played a little bit of this, and I'll tell you, it's not on the same vein as Luminous at all. So, yeah.
Good to know.
Yep.
Next, we have Gensokyo Defenders by Unties for $20, which is, quote, a blistering shoot-'em-up action meets tactical tower defense. Looks kind of cool, but I have yet to see much from it, so I might watch reviews on this and see if it's worth diving into.
Sure. This one, if it's any indication from playing the Walking Veggies, should be good, but Crimson Keep from Merge Games, who made that game, it's $15.99 pre-purchase, $20 full, and this is different. It's not like your retro like Hotline Miami shooter. This is more dungeon crawling, first-person shooter, action RPG with procedurally generated areas, and it looks sort of neat. But I'd have to see more because I'm not sure the quality of the first-person mechanics. So.
And then next we have Deterra Trip by Under Games. $5 if you pre-order, $7 the day of on the 29th. It's a really fast action 2D platforming type game. Gonna have to see more from this. Nothing didn't seem like really anything that stood out to me, but I will not discount a game on that notion alone. So keep my eye on it.
Yes, next we have Stardust Galaxy Warriors from Stellar Climax. Axis Games for $10, and it's RPG shmup, and it looks like it has some mech mechanics, mech brawling. So that looks pretty cool, actually. This one I will probably try to check out at some point.
We know it at least has RPG mechanics, but we do not know if it hits the roguelike elements as well.
Yes.
Also that day we have Nairi Tower of Shirin. By winner of the day by the developer named Another Indie Studio.
That's the yep. They receive a reward there. Yep.
Yep. You get the Nindie name award. It's $10, but I won't be playing it because it's a graphic adventure. But it looks cool, so maybe that'll be one you give a shout out to.
Sure. And then next we have Asterix and Obelix XXL 2 from Microids for $50. And that's for a cute 3D adventure based on...
It's like this... It's like a Saturday morning cartoon or something. I forget what Asterix and Obelix is, but it was a game on the Genesis as well. Sure. It looks great art, great graphics, but yeah, I don't know if it looks like it's $50 good or not. And then we also, if the American Running Truckers or whatever it was called didn't scratch your itch, you can drop another 40 bones on Professional Farmer by UIG Entertainment.
You gotta stop liking those farmer simulators, Jeff.
Better than a farmer stimulator.
Yeah, true. Next we have Jelly Break from Euro Video Median, $34.99. I did not realize it was that expensive. And it's intense jump and run co-op. And it's entirely co-op because all you can do, you control like these two blobs and they shoot out and you solve puzzles that way. And it looks sort of neat, but have to see more on it.
A lot of expensive Nindies recently.
Yeah,
right?
That's really expensive, actually.
I don't have my Switch in front of me. Actually, I do. It's just not on right now. But the next game, I have to trust my notes from when I was writing down show notes. Animal Hunter Z by Star Sign. $8 if you pre-purchase, $10 the day of. I wrote garbage-looking hunting game where a purple mist makes zombie animals.
That explains it well. Love it. With that note, we'll move on to 11:30, which we see The First Tree by, I'm guessing, one man, David Wheel, for $9.99. And this is a third-person adventure, and it tells the intimate story of a fox. I'm not sure if you're reincarnated as a fox or what that entails, but it looks strikingly impressive. So next we have Coffee Crisis from Cubic Games, and I talked about this in what we've been playing. There's not much else I can add to. It's an arcade-style beat-em-up, 16-bit style, and the music is outstanding, heavy metal throughout, and you beat up aliens.
That's why MJR was in it. Okay.
Yeah, it's really cool. So check that out. And then next, Escape Dudeland from Cubic Games, which I've also already talked about. And as I could say, it's an insane endless runner with paper cutouts, but it's a lot of fun if you're into those types of games. And then we have Okunoka from Ignition Publishing for $12.75. And from what I could tell, this looks like a super hard platformer where you try to, and the description reads, where you try to purify the corrupted. It has this like a cartoony style to it, but also I guess it hits on some pretty serious subject matter. And then we're going to hit on I Am the Hero from Radalaka Games. And this is another one I talked about. It's in the same vein, 16 beat 'em up, and it's all in 2D, but it's heavily combo driven, and it was a lot of fun when I played it.
I gotta jump in real quick. I don't know
Sure.
I can't remember if it was on my Twitter account or the Nindie Nation Twitter account. Oh, plug at Nindie Jeff at minus the brand at Nindie Nation.
Boom.
I was trading messages with Radalika, seeing if they wanted to jump on the podcast. I think that might have been on my account because I don't know if you saw it, but
yeah, I didn't see that.
So super cool dude that I was trading messages with, just telling him, hey, we would love to have you on sometime. And he told me, did you know there's only 2 people at Radalika Games?
That's insane because they release so many games.
Yeah, they've got like 17 games on the Switch right now. Now sometimes they do development, and most of the time it's publishing house, but it's just 2 guys that are responsible for making sure QA and cert is done, getting the games up on the page, up on all the different platforms. I mean, it's amazing. I had just finished Shadow of Loot Box 2 weeks ago. Anyways, I digress. Cool. I was really impressed that it was just 2 of them. He was basically like, we would love to do it. I'll let you know when I think we've got half an hour of time. We are really busy.
Yeah.
Hey, I understand now.
Yeah. We will continue to support your games. So we have Harvest Life from Roca Publish for $30. And this looks like it looked like a farming simulator with Harvest Moon-like tendency. Probably not worth $30 if you're wondering. Sword and Sorcery from Cappy Games for $10 is an exploratory adventure, and it was ported from a mobile title.
Did you ever play this game?
No, but I have it on mobile.
Yeah, I've got it on my iPad. I played it a little bit. It's like a puzzle mixed with the cinematic platformers like Out of This World or Flashback or Prince of Persia, like the old ones.
Yeah.
I never really got into it, but when it came out, it was like the mobile game to get back when mobile gaming was first getting big. It was like, you get all these free-to-play games, but this is the game that you pay $10 for. So that's cool to see that's coming here. I bet it's all touchscreen. I'd be interested in seeing.
Yeah, and like you said, you only can play in handheld if it is. So, but it looks cool. Secret Files Tunguska, and I did not write a description for this or the price, so you can look that up on the website. As you can see, there's so many of these games that we're sort of burn out where we meet at.
So. In a quick Google search, it looks like it was originally on the Wii. So it's a Wii port. It's a adventure game. Looks like it's got some some FMV sequences. It got a 9 out of 10 on Steam and a 71% on Metacritic. Yeah, point and click adventure game.
Okay.
So, cool.
12-1. We have Rockbosher's Director's Cut DX from Tiki Pod. And this has come out for a variety of consoles. And this one's cool because it looks like a game you play on a ZX Spectrum or Atari or something way back. But it has a modern sensibilities to it with story and NPCs. And it's a twin stick shooter. But like I said, it's single screen. You go from single screen to single screen. And there's different scenarios with enemies that you fire at and different weapons you get from screen to screen. And so it's pretty cool. I played it.
Interesting. I love those super colorful ZX Spectrum games. Like the real bright, vivid colors. Those are cool.
Yeah.
On December 3rd, we have Demetrios, The Big Cynical Adventure by Cowcat I don't know. Cowcat might win the award for the day. It's going to be $10. Is it a point and click adventure game? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it is. And it's known for its potty humor.
Is it based on any kind of franchise or anything? Or?
No, I think it's its own entity, and
its own potty humor entity.
If you like really outlandish things, then you'll probably like it, or adventure titles in general. So I've never played it.
Big one next.
Yes, this is the big one. 12-4 Monster Boy from FDG Entertainment, $35.99. When you do your edit, make sure, I don't know if you have any synthesizer that make Monster Boy, you know.
Make you sound like a vampire or something?
No, not no, like the echo, like, you know, when they announce something, like during.
Got it.
Yeah. Like,
got it. Okay, well,
yeah.
It'll play better if I pause everything and have you just give me a really good one now. So go ahead.
Monster Boy. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, we got that. This is how the sausage is made, folks.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know how I feel about that game being $36. Do you know if it's because the first one was, I don't want to say it was linear, because it was the opposite of linear. But
yeah.
Wonder Boy was kind of like,
Wonder Boy was taken like as a retro. It was originally like, I can't remember.
It was a Genesis game or a Master System game.
Yeah, it was something really old, but it was cool how you could swap it back and forth. But this is like, I think its own unique adventure set for this.
Got it.
And it has a lot of different mechanics. Like, of course, you're a boy who can switch between a variety of different monsters to accomplish tasks. And it has that Metroidvania-like style to it. It probably isn't as, you know, robust as like Wonder Boy, where you don't even know where you're going or where you should go on. I think this has more of a streamlined approach.
Yeah, if they can modernize it a little more, then
yeah, I think it's more modernized. So if you liked Wonder Boy, but it was almost too much to get into, I think this would be the game to go into.
Yeah, that sounds good. Next, we have Gear Club 2 Unlimited by Eden Games, which is $60.
Our $60 Nindie.
It's a racing game. It's like simulation. Like, I mean, it looks like a Forza or a Gran Turismo or something like that. The graphics look really good. Lots of tuning and you know, customizing your car and stuff. We don't really have anything like that on the Switch. So
no,
I don't know. Maybe if that's your itch, that might not be a bad one to check out. After that, we have Toki. I'll touch on this because it's a game I played back on the Genesis.
Wow.
It's a remake developed by Microids. It's $30, so it's kind of pricey, but very similar to Wonder Boy in that it is like a remake, maybe more of a reimagining. Art style even looks a lot like Wonder Boy, like very gorgeous hand drawn art. It's expensive, but it was a pretty beloved game. I'm going to keep my eye on this one because I remember that being a game that I rented like 3 or 4 times to play all the way through. It's cool. It's like kind of a action platformer, and then there's some little bitty Metroidvania stuff, but then it's got like side-scrolling shmup levels in it and stuff like that. It was pretty cool, and you're a monkey. I don't know.
Monkey spitting acid or something. Yeah. I don't know what he's spitting. Pretty gross. A 12-5, we have Energy Cycle Edge from Sometimes You. Haven't heard from them in a while, so that's nice to see. $424 pre, $499 regular price, and it's a sequel to Energy Cycle, and it's a 3D grid-based puzzle game where I can't tell what you're really doing, but a lot of colors, and there's probably a deep puzzle mechanic there that you can get into. And then 12-6, we have Rival Megagun from Dejika or Dejika. We'll say Dejika, that sounds better. From $14.99. And this is a head-to-head mech combat vertical shmup. So it looks pretty cool from what I can tell. Then we have Lawn Story by Bloom Digital, $11.89. And has a funny looking comic style adventure title. Similar to Dream Daddy. So if that's your thing, you can check that out. Battle Princess Madeline from Causal Bit Games, not casual, Causal, 1999, and this is a pixel art action adventure title and it looks like a beautiful world to explore. I'm really intrigued by this one.
I think that one might have been in the Nindie Directs. That name rings a bell.
Yeah, I think it was. It looks really good though, so I definitely intrigued by it.
We also have Color Zen Find Your Way by Cypronia. It's a really simple 2D puzzle game. It's meant to be a meditative and colorful puzzle game, like the notion that, like, hey, put on your headphones, chill out, solve some puzzles. Right now Tetris Effect is filling that void, so you got some big shoes to fill, Color Zen. Interesting thing about it, the game itself is free, but it has 460 DLC levels. I am only interested in this just to see how they monetize it. Like, are there 3 or 4 packs of 100+ levels, or how they break it?
Can you even play it if you get the free download?
Yeah, I don't know. There's gotta be a couple of levels in there, right? I mean, if it is free and you can play a couple of levels for free, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Did it with Brawlhalla or whichever
Sure.
one of those games was free. Why not?
Yeah. And then finally, we have Beholder Complete Edition from Curve Digital. And I have this for PS4, but I never played it. And it looks like a dark
adventure game.
Click adventure. Yeah, I just got it and never played it. So
This is right up your alley.
I know.
It looks
I
cool.
like-
All the
I like
characters
the
are
art
all
style.
silhouettes and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it
It's
has a
neat.
good premise to it. But Jeff, the big one on the 7th. This isn't a Nindie, but it's going to be taking a lot of time.
Super Smash Brothers!
That's not a Nindie, but we are both very excited for it. It's got, does it have Nindie characters in it?
Yeah, it has a Shovel Knight. You can't play as
I think
them,
as
but
an assist trophy. Yeah, and it's got Shantae as one of the spirits. Man, Shovel Knight needs to be a character in Smash
he
Brothers.
does. Oh, 100%.
Perfect in that game. Anyways, all right, let's jump into this smorgasbord of sales we've got. I want to start those with a caveat that there's like 140 games on sale in the eShop right now. We're going to hit on the big ones that are either fantastic games that come strongly recommended, or they are games that have really big discounts. Some of these are expiring within 24 hours of when this podcast is going to post. So please, if you are listening, we should probably put this in the description and such, maybe skip to 50 minutes into the episode. Whew, this is a long one. And read through. So we're not going to talk too much to these. We're just going to hit the ones that are, on sale and what the great prices are. So cue the eShop music.
Lightfall is 35% off for $9.49. Axiom Verge 50% off for $9.99. Highly recommended.
I picked that one up.
Perfect. Bastion is 20% off at $11.99. Another great one to get. Blaster Master Zero 50% off $4.99. And Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 30% $6.99.
Celeste is 20% off at $15.99. Child of Light, not technically a Nindie, but I think it kind of counts because it was made by an indie studio inside of Ubisoft. 20 is 50% off for $9.99. Dead Cells, contender for Game of the Year, is 20% off for $19.99. And Don't Starve, Nintendo Switch Edition, 50% off for $9.99.
And we have Enter the Gungeon, which you just talked about, for 50% off for $7.49. Goner is 50% off for $4.99. Hyper Light Drifter, one of my favorites, 20% off for $15.99. Inside, 35% for $12.99. And Jackbox Party Pack 5 is 30% off for $20.99. And that's a good time for parties.
Yeah, right before the holidays, a brand new one. Mighty Gunvolt Burst, one of my favorites, is 50% off for $4.99. Minute is 33% off for $6.69. Mutant Mud's collection, as well as all of the other Jules Watson Atui games, is 50% off, $7.49. Neon Wall is a brand new game that is currently trying to take the crown of being the 99-cent game. It doesn't look too bad,
But it's
though.
good. It's good.
Yeah. Good. And Shovel Knight Treasure Trove is 20% off for $19.99. Know that if you buy that, you get the multiplayer mode that comes out early next year, as well as the King of Cards expansion that is yet to come out. $20 for the Shovel Knight Treasure Trove is one of the best values for indie games, even though it's a little pricey. $20, man. You get like 5 games in it. Buy that.
Definitely. And then we have the SteamWorld Dig sale with the original being 50% off for $4.99. SteamWorld Dig 2 is 50% off $9.99. And SteamWorld Heist, 50% $9.99. If I had to recommend 2 out of those to get, SteamWorld Dig 2 and SteamWorld Heist. But
Agreed.
if you want to see where it originated SteamWorld Dig, just buy them all. They're all great games. Then we have The Messenger for 30% off $13.99, and that's the deal I took advantage of, definitely. And Towerfall is 20% off $15.99.
If you're into your dark, intense action, racing, music, rhythm games, Thumper is 50% off for $9.99. One of the coolest early indie games to grace modern consoles, Velocity 2X, is 50% off for $9.99. Remember, that was the game that they said, hey, if this game sells well on the Switch, they will make another one. Otherwise, they're going to give up on the franchise. So, little guilt trip by the developers. Vertical Drop Heroes is 33% off for $6.63. Wonder Boy, The Dragon's Trap. If you want to wet your whistle before Monster Boy comes out, it is 50% off at $9.99. And another Zeo Drifter is one of the Atui games, right? Because I know one of them's kind of a fish out of water. I think it's Zeo Drifter. Also an awesome game, though. 50% off for $4.99. All right.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
All right, Josh, pick a couple of those that you think are must plays and pick a couple that you think are deals that shouldn't be passed up. I will say I got Axiom Verge for 50% off because that game never goes on sale.
Yes, I will say that you should pick up, let's see, Hyperlight Drifter. It's only 20% off, but that's one of my favorite games that's on the Switch right now. And if you need a good party game, Jackbox Party Pack 5 was a lot of fun when I played it with my family. So that's 30% off at $20.99.
I'm going to say that the 1-2 punch of Inti Creates games, Blaster Master Zero and Mighty Gunvolt Burst, those 2 games are just an awesome shot of Nindie retro gaming goodness with modern touches. You know, getting like New Game Plus, roguelike, that kind of stuff. In fact, I think both of those games have roguelike elements with RPG mechanics. Cue the cheer. But you can get both of those games for $10 total. That's an awesome deal. Tons of replay value. Short games, though, if you just want to run through them once.
Yeah, and for 90% off for Neon Wall, like I said, it's a good title. I had a lot of fun with it. It's very simple, but it's definitely worth 99 cents. And then Thumper, I love this game in PSVR, but on the Switch, it's probably as great. So that's another one, 50% off to check out.
You could get that. Have you seen that head-mounted thing where you can like mount the Switch screen on your face? Have you seen that?
No, I have not. Now I want to.
That is actually a thing where it like mounts the Switch right in front of your eyeballs. That can't be good. My Switch gets hot with some games. That would get like warm on your eyeballs.
Oh man, it like burned into your eyes. Ugh.
Yeah, the Switch is burning my retinas. And then I'm going to say Vertical Drop Heroes because that's my jam right now. I'm almost done. I've almost beaten
Jeff
the
Jam.
game. Is this week's Jeff Jam for sure. Wow, that's a lot. We did go through that pretty quick, though.
Not bad.
Good job, Nindie Nation. Phew. Well, that's a ton of games. I feel like I say that every week, but there's just so much goodness to celebrate. I wonder if things will slow down for the end of the year. I wonder if December will slow down.
I
hope
a little
so.
Bit.
Yeah, I got to catch up on
Stop
some
releasing
stuff.
awesome games.
I need to get like Mono again. I had mono when I was young, and that was a great time to play video games. I had to get something that just like knocks me out for a couple weeks. Then again,
Yeah.
I'm a dad now, so we don't get sick days.
Maybe it's shingles. I'll find a way to get shingles. I'll be in pain, but I'll be able to play.
Is the swine
Be
flu
locked
still
away.
a thing?
Oh, jeez.
So let's see. We would love to hear what you're playing. If you picked up some of these games, let us know. Please go check out all of our channels on social media. You can find Nindie Nation on Facebook. You can also find us on Twitter. I am at Nindie Jeff. Josh is at _the_Brant, and we are at Nindie Nation. Also, go check out the Vertical Drop Heroes Let's Play. Also, one for Skyforce Reloaded and 20XTX over on our YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, share, all of that wonderful stuff. I mean, or if you just want to open up the video and put your phone down and let it play, that's good too. And we are also a part of the Nintendo Village Network, but I don't know anything about that, Josh. Can you please enlighten
It's
me?
not. You never go over there. This is a great website that we're hosted through that has a lot of content, a lot of awesome content creators and people there that really care about everything Nintendo. So go over there and support them and subscribe to a few of their shows because, like I said, they make great content and retro themed podcasts are really cool to get into. So
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us this week. I'm Jeff. That's Josh. We are Nindie Nation, and we look forward to chatting with you next week about all of the wonderful Nindie goodness on the eShop and Switch. Until then, keep those Joy-Cons synced.